right, here's where I'm at with the Willys. I've done all the work under the front end and finished it off. And today I came in and I got some bed liner and I sprayed the whole inside with it. And if it's dry tomorrow, I'm going to put the paint over it. I'm going to put a satin black, kind of like what's on it. But some of the things that I did with this, I didn't factor in when I built the shackle mounts back here in the back. The master cylinder used to fit right here, and it came up and hit this. So I had to move the master cylinder up to the conventional place, and it works good. The steering shaft is in, the motor mounts are in, the shock mounts are in, the front shackles, the steering box bolts here, and it's pretty well done on here. So I hope to paint it tomorrow, and it'll be dry Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I'm going to start putting the rear end in it. And if you want to walk out the back, this is the rear end I got for it. It's some kind of Chevrolet rear end. It's a 10-bolt. And this was in a old Roadster that I built, and the guy pulled it out for some reason. But we're not going to use a coilover system, so I'm going to take all the coilover stuff off of it. I'm going to cut it off and just use the conventional rear end with slapper bars underneath it for the traction bars. And this thing should hold up good with what I'm doing. So that's where I'm at now with this. I took the axle and turned it around because of the way we wanted to make the steering. But in order to put a drag link where it was a cross-link drag link, I welded this piece onto here and drilled a hole in this and made a connection here. When it was turned around the other way, it was a regular steer cart, and getting really confusing here because when I was going to do it the first time, you remember when I cut the hole in it here? Well, it wouldn't work with the steering box there. So we had to move it here, and when we moved it here, we had to turn the axle around backwards to get this to work, and this comes into here. So I had to build that and this drag link right here to fit to the fit line. Okay. So a lot of challenges went on here.
Yeah.
That's the reason it took 2 weeks. It was putting it in first. The gear was in here, and then I had to redo it, move it out here, and then we got a front steer car instead of a rear steer car. And the axle is in backwards. It don't know it's in backwards, but it is in backwards.
We won't tell it, Fred.
Okay. All right, we're back to the front end, and I've basically completed it. As of today, I mounted the shocks today. I've got everything underneath, the drag links, all that, and I'll go through everything. This is, we've been through it before, but this is a 52 Chevrolet truck axle, and I didn't have to do anything to it. Most of them I have to cut. This car, this car is wider than a 53 Chevrolet pickup truck. Who would have thought that? But it's about a half to 2 inches wider. So we had to do some modifying in here. And the way I built the spring perch here was I welded a plate onto the frame, and then I welded some gussets in it, and then welded a hanger to the bottom of the frame. So this is all one piece here. Then in the back here, because the spring sits inboard of the frame, and back here in the back, for the back shackle, this one, same deal, it sits inboard, so I had to build a box to build a shackle hanger on it. And this one, you can see, this is the box, and when it comes out, it runs back here. The spring hanger welds up under here. Then inside this box, I got 3 gussets. And then I just, for looks, I enclosed it. And when I enclosed it, that set up a big problem then, because the brake master cylinder came out here and it wouldn't fit on the original car, and I already had it mounted, so I had to take it out and put it up here. Now it looks like a conventional master cylinder. So then I got the springs put in it, and I had to bring the perches out a little bit on the springs, because this is where it fit in the truck. There's 2 holes here and 2 holes here. Well, I moved the perch this way and mounted it here. So it was kind of a challenge. It wasn't exactly easy. Then the Pitman arm, because I got that Ford front sump oil pan, and I'm hoping it's going to work now that I got it done. But the pan is going to sit right in front of this, as I remember. I kind of forget about it, but I had to take, this is the Vega Pitman arm, and it came out straight. In order to lower it down, I cut it here, cut it here, and then moved it here, and it lowered it down. So the oil lowered it down. The oil pan is going to sit right about here. And this is a Vega steering box, and I built the steering shaft, put a universal here, then came up here and put a universal and drilled a hole through the steering shaft right there. Then I put a piece of metal in here where I cut the hole for the shaft to come through. And here, because I had to move the master cylinder to here, I put a, what was it, a 3/16 inch plate. I welded in here, then I bolted it in also for the brake pedal.
Well, that'll be strong and give you a good feel.
Right. Yeah, it ain't going to feel spongy.
Yeah.
So got that in there, the steering shaft, everything's done, and then my accomplishment for the day was I got the shocks in, and I'll come around here. This is an original part to the car. This was the shock tower here on it, but then I had to build something down here to come around here. And I let this shock off there. You can see I built this. This is a square piece, and these shocks, we couldn't find any that had the hole in the bottom where I could just put a bolt coming out. So this, I had to cut a piece of metal, then I cut a square in it, and then this goes up in here like that, and then it comes down and bolts in there. It bolts in like that. The other one bolts in. There's a little bit of pressure on it, but that way it fits. Yeah, it was a little bit pain in the neck cutting the square in the middle. I used a plasma cutter to do it, but I think it'll work good. And I welded 2 pieces of 3/16 inch metal together because of this thing with that 390 in it and bouncing. If I have any problem, I'm going to gusset it underneath. I may do that anyway, but right now I think I'm okay. So that's what I've been doing for the last couple of days.
That's a very beautiful job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's artwork. All that goes into one front end, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this is putting this front end together, working the way I work, and I think I work faster than a lot of people. It took me 2 weeks. You know, cleaning it up, painting it, doing this, doing that, and something that I'm going to show you right here. The bend plate on the thing. With the bend plate on the thing, it's like any conventional bend plate. It had the black and the letters. Let me see if I got tape on this thing.
That's the also what's covered up with the good old bed liner, huh?
Yes. Good stuff. Covers up a lot of sins. But I got Bondo on it when I was filling in the holes on this thing. And so I just said, well, I'm going to have to wire brush it off. And I did. And as I wire brushed it, I realized it was a brass vent plate.
Wow.
And what's really odd about it, it says trim number and all that, and it's got all this information on it. It really isn't even a VIN. It's a body number. Maybe that is a VIN. And this was 9686. But the trim numbers, no number. Paint code, no number. And style, no number. So we only had that on there. But that looks the brass looks kind of neat.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
Get some brass out of that.
Yeah.
Looking good, Fred.
Well, thank you.